guys. Some of you have asked for me, I know the lighting terrible, I've asked for me to show you basic knitting. So that's what I'm going to do today. I have never shown anyone how to knit. So I have no idea how I'm going to explain this. I just know how to knit. I don't know. I never taught anyone. And to make matters worse, I only knitted in French, and I am learning the terms in English. So it's getting complicated for me. All right, so I'm gonna show you, and if you want me to do a continued series, right, where I keep on showing you things, you let me know. In particular, if this was helpful and you got over your fear of knitting thanks to this video. I just want to let you know that knitting is really not hard. Let me just put it out there. It's not hard. The only thing that's a pain is the counting. But the counting really only happens at the beginning. You really got to think about it. But it's patterns, so it's repetitive. And within 20 or 30 rows, you've known the pattern. So the counting is almost, it's not automatic, you're still counting, but it's not like you're being careful about it, okay? What I'm gonna do is show you the most basic stitching, all right? And then as we go, and if we go further, I'll show you how to reduce, how to increase, how to make holes, like lace type holes, how to finish, although finishing is not too hard. It's the same than crochet. You know, different patterns. So the basic, it's nothing but hooks. That's it. It's a buckle, think of it as Velcro. It's a buckle with a hook, all right? So they go together and they make a knot. And then you make another one and another one, and then you keep on adding them, just like a chain mail, whatever you call it, for medieval armor. It's basically what it is. It's, you have a loop, and then you put another loop into it. And it all depends if you're going to bring the loop from the front or if you're going to bring it from the back. That's it. 2 basic knitting stitches. Knit, purl. Any combination of those will give you a sweater. So it could be 2 knit, 2 purl. Then when you go on the other side, 2 purl, 2 knit, you get a pattern. If you do 3 purls, 3 knits, 3 purls, 3 knits, but you follow them on the other side, you do the same pattern, you get something totally different. It's the same. It's knit and purl. So this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you needles, how to know which needle to pick. I'm going to show you how to start. We're going to do knitting and purl and 3 stitches. So there's different type of yarn. When you go to your Joann's or AC Moore, all the other guys, Michael's, you're going to find mostly acrylic. You don't want to make a sweater of acrylic. It's terrible to knit with because it doesn't really slide and it piles. So when you wear it, you end up having all those little, you know, piling. I think that's what they call it, that you got to end up shaving and stuff. Don't do acrylic. Acrylic is just good enough for crochet, blanket, and little knickknacks and stuff like that. If you're going to make things that touch your skin, you have to get a silk blend, a cotton blend, a wool blend, wool with cashmere, wool with silk or Angora. What I got here to show you is mohair. And mohair is one of my favorite, but it's not a beginner friendly wool. It's very fine. Okay, look at the size of that thread. It's super fine, but it's got all those hairs, so they get in the way. All right, but the reason why I wanted to show you this is to make myself a scarf later on. The reason why I wanted to show you this is because it comes with a label, and that's the very first thing you need to look at. All right, because your label has 3 things that are important. One, it's going to tell you exactly which size needle you need. It's going to tell you what the swatch needs to look like. And then the last one, if you're going to make a sweater in size 42 Europe, you need five schemes. Okay, 5 of those. So it gives you an idea. All right. So this one tells you need US 8 to 9. You can buy a kit like this, and the kit will have all the needle sizes. This is cheap, all right? It will have all the needle sizes. I'm going to look at this one because this one is super, super fat. This one, it says right here, it says 10 on it. All right, this is a number 10 millimeter. This is for very thick wool, you know, like chenille. So you want to match your needle size to the size of your thread, okay? Let me cut this because I'm going to show you how to start it. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the foundation, all right? How to do your first 30, how to build your, we're gonna do 30 stitches on this. Now, I prefer metal needles because they slide, except that the one that I picked to work and show you today, there's a defect right here. I don't know if you can hear it. If I go like this, you hear that? There's a defect, and what happens is that my wool is catching on it. It's not sliding. Trash. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use one that's a 3 and one that's a 3.5. It won't make much of a difference, but at least you'll see, you know, left and right. It's easier that way. So I'm going to show you how to start your base stitches, and we're going to do 30. What I want to do is make sure that this needle doesn't scratch. Okay, so all you do is that you start by making a loop, all right, like this, and then you bring this in. You make a knot. It doesn't matter. You can put any kind of knot, all right? You want to leave a little bit of thread at the end. You don't want it to be too short, so we're going to put the needle in that loop, and we're going to close it off. But you don't want to close it off tight. You want to just close it off enough that it can slide back and forth. All right? Now, this is where it's important. With your left hand, you're going to grab this and you're going to hold on to it. And then you're going to hold, we're going to go a little bit higher. You're going to hold your needle like this, and you can put it against your belly if you want, all right? Because what we're going to do is we're going to start building our 30 stitches, and then this will go down as we add stitches. So how do you do that? Because we're not going to redo those little knots I just did, okay? There's a way of building the stitches. I'm going to give you a close-up. So what you do, I'm going to position myself so you can really see, all right? What you do is that you're going to make a gun. Right? Like pow pow gun. You got 3 fingers and a trigger or whatever you call it, and then the barrel. With those 3 fingers, you're going to grab this here, and you're going to hold on to it. Not too tight, but you're holding on to it. And then this one you don't really use. The most important is your index finger. Your index finger, you're going to bring it under, over, twist to the right. Let me do it again. 3 fingers, under, over, twist to the right. And once you have it twisted to the right, you're going to bring your needle here. I don't know if you can see. Is my thumb in? It's hard. I don't know if I'm doing it the right way for you. You're going to bring it here, and then you're going to remove your finger and pull. We have 2 stitches now. 2 loops. Okay? And again, you want to try to keep the same space for all of them, and you don't want to make it too tight. You want to be able to slide it. And I'm holding the tail and the needle. Okay? So technically the only thing that's moving is my hand, my right hand. Bring another one, remove my finger. That's 3. 4. I'm going to do it a little bit fast because I want you to see how fast you can build those, because you're probably thinking, well, if I have to do 75 of them for a sweater, I'll be here 6 hours. No, you're not. Okay, this is really in real time what it looks like. You see, it's easy, right? And they're all the same size, and look, I can slide them. Nothing is too tight. All right, so let's go over it again. 3 fingers, make your little pointy gun thing, go under, over, to the right, put it in, pull, 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 pull. Let me make it slower. I have a feeling that my stupid thumb is in the way. Let's remove the thumb. Maybe it's, I don't know how to do it without the thumb, so it's kind of hard, but there we go. All right, how about I give you a bigger close-up? 20, 21, 22, bring it down a little bit. 23, I'm gonna move this way so maybe you won't see my thumb as much. It's okay. How about now? Where was I? 23, 24, 25. Oh, missed it. 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Over the years, I've watched a lot of people knit. Everybody has created their own way of holding the needles, okay? And sometimes you're not being taught the proper way. That's a fact. I've seen people knitting like this, okay? That's not how you knit. Technically, when you're knitting, the only needle that moves is the one on your right. The one on your left is tucked and never moves. This is the only one that moves. This one stays tucked. Now, the tension problem that most people have is how they hold their thread. Some people hold their thread like this, and you're trying to do your little circles up and under and all of that, but you can't control the tension of your thread when you're like this. Pinky, this is where the tension is going to be. Take your pinky and you're gonna go and wrap like this. Wrap. And then these 3 fingers have your thread. Wrap 3 fingers. That's not it. That's not the end. That's just the beginning of it. Twist the 3 fingers. And then this one, your index, grabs it this way. So what's going to happen is that you're going to be able to do all the stitches, and your thread is going to keep on moving around your finger and above the other 2, and that's going to keep the tension. Because if you just hold it like this, you have no way of controlling the tension. None. So around those 3 fingers, and then this one goes under and to the right. Let me do it this way. I think I'm losing everybody already. It's not complicated, trust me. Go around 3 fingers, and then this one this way. And look, I am moving everything. You see how the thread is sliding over my fingers. Do you see that? I got about 3 feet, if not 4 feet of thread right now. It's sliding, and it's sliding at the same tension. Let's do it again. Around. 3 fingers, go under. Around, 3 fingers, go under. And this is how you keep your tension. If you can maintain this, you'll never have a tension problem. I'm gonna sound real obnoxious. That's the French way. Hence the proper way. This is the way I was taught, and this is the way we do it in my family, and that's the best way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a knit, all right? And a knit is the forward one. That's the one where your needle is gonna go this way. The purl, you'll see it goes the other way. So knit, I'm gonna start with having this intention, right? So what you want to do is grab your needle and you're gonna go behind the first stitch, not in front of it, but behind. And you're going to place your needle right in the hole, like this. You're gonna grab it right underneath. All right? And then you're gonna take this, you're gonna wrap around it and bring it into the X. Let me do that again. You grab your needle, you go behind the stitch, and you go forward. You then go around it and bring it into the X. Once it's inside the X, you're going to pull back. You want to hold this. This is why your tension is important. You see my tension here? Okay. You want to bring this towards you, and you're grabbing this one now, and then you go over. Here's your first stitch. Now your stitch went from the left to the right. I'm going to do another one. Well, I'm going to do all of them, but I want to show you. Okay, so you start behind it. The first row is the most difficult because that's really the one that's going to establish the tension. Okay, so you go behind the stitch, you go into the hole, you go around, put it into the X, and bring it over. Let's do another one. Behind, into the hole, go around it, bring it into the X, and loop it back in. Again, the first row is the most difficult one, okay? So don't freak out. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you in regular speed, and then we're gonna do it as a slow motion. Okay, so in regular speed, this is what it looks like. And again, this is the first row, which is always kind of awkward. And this is just knit. Inside, forward, go around, bring it into the X, and over. 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 I'm not counting anything because we're just doing a gauge. We don't care. All right? Okay. Now, once I have everything moved to this one, guess what I'm doing? I'm moving it to the other side. I'm switching needles. Okay? And we're gonna do exactly the same thing. Now it's gonna get easier. Much easier. So this one we don't care about, that's the tail, right? Same thing, from behind, go into the hole, over into the X, bring it over. And again, the first couple of rows are the ones that are kind of awkward because there's no real tension yet. There's no structure yet. It's kind of like going all over the place. Don't worry, just keep going. And all we're doing is knitting. We grab it from behind the stitch, bring it forward, go around, bring it into the X, take that loop, bring it over. We're basically transferring one side to the other by doing exactly the same loop. So the left is a mirror of the right with just an additional stitch above it. Okay, 2 rows. Move it to the left, bring this one over to the right. I'm going to do a couple more so you can see what the pattern looks like. We're starting to build now. This one I'm going to do in real time, alright, so you get an idea of how fast you can do it. Alright, let's go. And you see how the left one is not moving, right? It's only the one on the right that's moving. The left, the only thing that you're doing is using your fingers to stop your loops from falling off and then moving them forward towards the edge or the end of the needle. Right? You see how I'm kind of like pushing them? See that with my thumb, what I just did? I'm pushing everybody towards the front without losing them. It's just to help me keep the pace. It's kind of a like an assembly line. And as I'm building rows, it's getting easier and easier because now I got the right tension. I don't have spaces, right? And you can see when you look at it that it's nicely aligned. Let's do another 2. I'm going to do them at regular speed. Don't twist this, always have it in the right position. Alright, and around 3 fingers and like this. Alright, and here we go. And when it gets twisted, you just bring it back. If this is a little tight, you bring it forward. You know, you can stop in between. And again, all I'm doing is knit. And what it's going to give you is a garter stitching pattern. And the garter stitching pattern is great for baby sweaters because it's got a lot of flexibility. In French, we call it point mousse. Point mousse meaning like a moss. It's, you know, I don't know if it shows. Okay. My problem is that I'm showing you this on two different size needles. Okay. If you find that you have a little bit too much tension, just grab your thread and just give yourself a whole bunch of loose one on your knees if it's getting a little tight. And again, notice the left is not moving. It's only my right needle and my right hand that's moving. The only thing the left is doing is assisting with pushing that row towards the edge of the needle. And we're going behind the stitch, into the hole, around it, bringing it to the X, bring it up. Behind the stitch, around it, into the X, and over. Okay, so this is what a garter stitch looks like, and by the way, it's the same in the front that it is in the back. Same, both sides. So now what I'm going to show you is purl. Purl is the backward one. It's the same principle. We'll start with the first stitch, but instead of starting behind the stitch and going forward, I'm starting in front of it and I'm going backward. So you go this way. Now your thread needs to be over. Don't leave it under, it needs to be over. Okay? And it's the same thing. You're going to bring it into the X, go around and bring it back. Front, into it, go back, go around it, bring it. Front, pull it in, go around it, and grab it. I start from the front, I go into the loop, I bring it back, I go around it, and come back into the loop, grab the new thread, if you will, and disengage. Disengage. Go around it, pull it out. So that was a purl. And the purl, you'll see that on the front, it doesn't give me this raised. What it does is that it gives me a flat. You see that? The raised bump is in the back. In the front, I got nothing. It's flat. So now you know how to do knit and you know how to do purl. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to do a stockinette stitch, which is the basic stitch for sweaters. Okay, that's the one that looks like little chevrons. All right, so you do 1 row of knit and 1 row of purl. 1 row of knit, 1 row of purl, and you alternate. All right, so I'm going to probably show you about, let me see, it's 7:47. I still have to edit this, so I'm going to show you probably like maybe 5 rows, 6 rows. Let's do 6. Okay, so I'm going to start with rows of just knit. Okay, so here we go. Knit, 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 knit. Knit is forward into the X, bring it over. Forward into the X, bring it over. Forward into the X, bring it over. This is all knit. 1 row of knit, 1 row of purl. Oops. It's getting in my way. Knit. The next row is all purl. And purl, if you remember, is backward, okay, but your thread needs to be over. Okay, because we're all working from the back. Go around it, bring it up. Okay. Purl. 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 I'm starting in front of it, I bring it backward, I go around it, and then I twist it back out. Purl. 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 Next row is knit. Start from behind it, bring it in, into the X, and bring it over. Knit, 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 okay. Next row is purl. Switch that over. Purl, remember we go back. This has to be over it. And there we go. Purl. Purl. Switch it over. Next row is an entire row of knit. I think you should see. You should be able to see it. Okay, do you see what it does? All right, so this is what a regular sweater looks like, right? Those little chevron. But behind it, it's almost like it was just knit. But you got your chevrons. The ribs, which is basically the bottom part of sweaters, right, is a combination of knit and purl. It could be 2 knit, 2 purls, 2 knit, 2 purls, and then the next row is 2 knit, 2 purls, 2 knit, 2 purls. So we're going to do 2 and 2. It could be 4 if you want large ribs, but we're going to do 2. Could be 3, could be 5, whichever you want. So we're going to do 2 knits, 1, 2. This is where we start counting. 2 purls. 1, 2. Bring it back to the front. 2 knits, 1, 2, bring it back to the other side, 2 purls, 1, 2, bring it back to the other side, 2 knits, 1, 2, bring it to the other side, 2 purls, bring it to the other side, 2 knits. So now I go flip it, and guess what we're going to do? Same thing, 2 knit, 2 purl, 2 knits, 2 purls, okay. So I don't know if you can see the ribs, right? But you should be able to see where I have 2 raised, 2 dents, 2 raised, 2 dents, raised, dent, raised, dent. You see that? Okay. And then in the back of it, you should be seeing the same thing. And that's the ribs. So you can do ribs with just 1 knit, 1 purl, 1 knit, 1 purl, or you can do really wide ribs. This, because you're probably wondering, well, but that looks complicated. No, it's not, because I'm going to show you what it is. All right, let me take this. Okay, we got 2 rows of knit. The next row is 3 knit, 1 knit, 4 purls, 1 knit, 4 purls, 1 knit, 4 purls, 1 knit, 4 purls. The whole row, 1 knit, 4 purls, and it ends with 3 purls. The next row, this is where you're going to start seeing that diagonal here. The next row, instead of being 4 purls, it's 2 purls, so we're completing with knits. So the next row is 3 knits, 3 knits, 2 purls, 3 knit, 2 purls, 3 knit, 2 purls, and we do that for 2 rows, 3 knit, 2 purls. So now we're on the 5th row. The 6th row is a repeat of the 2nd row. It's 3 knit plus 1 knit, 4 purl, 1 knit, 4 purl, 1 knit, 4 purl, 4 purl. And the last row is a row of knit. And that pattern is repeated. So we got a row of knit, a row of 1 knit, 4 purl, 2 rows of 3 knit, 2 purls, 1 row of 1 knit, 4 purls, and 1 row of all knit. That's the pattern, and that's why you see those stripes. Here's the beginning of the pattern, the end of the pattern. This is 6 rows. Here's another 6 rows, another 6 rows, another 6 rows, another 6 rows, and because it's 4 purl, then it's 2 purl, 2 purl, 1 purl. You see, you probably see them better on the other side. You see this, no, actually you see it better here. You see this diagonal right here. So that's 4 purl, 2 purl, 2 purl, 1 purl. Here's the diagonal. 4 purl, 2 purl, 2 purl, 1 purl. It's super easy. This video, however, I hereby declare was the most difficult video I ever filmed. It is so hard to show this on camera, and I have no idea. I think I lost half of you within 10 minutes. Can you even see the ribbing pattern here? Oh, you can see it here. You see the rib? Okay, and all this is 2 knit, 2 purls, 2 knit, 2 purls. And this is what it looks like on the front and on the back. And then over here is all knit, and then that part that's all flat right here is all purl. So play around. I'll tell you again, it's the first 4 rows that are a pain in the butt because it's all over the place. You're not sure. Don't get frustrated. Once you got, you know, you got it going, you're good. All right. This was hard. I have no idea. I'm gonna go and edit, and I have a feeling I'm gonna scrape the whole thing because it was so hard to film. I don't even know if I explained it properly. It's so much easier to do it in person. I had no idea it was this hard to teach knitting. So I don't know. I'm going to edit it and we'll see what happens. I wanted to show you other stuff, but I have a feeling this video is already an hour long. So I'm going to stop there. And you tell me down below if you want me to go over, continue, or yeah, that's enough, Sophia, we're good. It's hard to do it slow because when you're slow, you lose your technique. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm used to, right? But doing it slow, I become awkward. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. So this was very hard. I want you to know this was very hard. I said I was going to show you Knitting 101. I still haven't shown you how to go over mistakes. If you want me to show you how to go over mistakes and backtrack stitches, I can show you that. I can show you how to increase, decrease, make holes. I know how to do the what do you call it? The braids. Okay, so you sew the rib, right? The 2, 2, 2, 2. Those things are super easy. What happens is that you get a third needle. And let's say you do those 2, right? Instead of doing them on your regular needle, you're going to do them on a separate needle and you're going to let it hang. Then you keep doing what you got to do. And when it's time to bring it over, you take that third needle and you start knitting from it again. And what it does is that you have this piece that was dangling. Now you're going to bring it like this. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but it's really not rocket science. Once you got an idea of how to do it and you follow the pattern, it's super easy. This is the best I can do, guys. I don't know how it's gonna come out. I'm gonna edit it now, and I may scrap it or I may not. I don't know. This was very hard to film. I don't know how to explain it. I hope the visual is enough. I'm going to give you enough slow motion. I hope that works. Okay, I want you to knit. I want you to knit. I want you to crochet. I know how to crochet too. But trust me, it's easy. It's all about how you hold stuff in your fingers for the tension. You don't ever want to have your thread like this. That's not how you knit. If you have it where it's interlocked in your fingers, like I showed you, and you can actually slide your fingers like this, it's gonna save your life, your knitting life. All right, let me go edit this because I'm hoping to have it for you for tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed. I have a feeling this was a disaster, but thank you for sticking around if you did stick around. I appreciate. I've never taught knitting, so it's very difficult for me to do it. I never did it before, so I have no idea if I did it the right way. But anyway, that's it. I'll see you later. Happy knitting or frustration. That was hard. You guys staying downstairs? I'm out of here. I gotta go edit. Come on, Lucia, let's go up. She can stay down. Don't act like you don't understand English, please. He's looking at me like, ooh. Okay, I gotta go. Bye.